Most people watching this video are going to think I'm some crazy, weird conspiracy theorist that is just off his head, pretty much. But once you understand and see all the signs that the government is really trying to psyop and make young men weaker, then it just seems so clear to you. And hopefully, as many people watching this video can see this like I see it. Hopefully, this will help you so that you can understand that the government is trying to keep young men weak, feminine, and just lazy, pretty much, so that they can control us and make us slaves to them, pretty much. So hopefully you can also see the signs after this video. You can look out for how they're trying to do this, and they're doing this by many ways, keeping young men like me, probably like you. They're doing it by keeping our testosterone very low, keeping us more feminine, making us more like women, pretty much. Women should be feminine, men should be masculine. This is how it's always been, and this is how it always should be. But the government is keeping men's testosterone very low, so that this is why we're fat, we're lazy, lethargic. We don't want to do any work, go to the gym. We don't want to stand up to anyone. And when you have a society of young men like this, with full of estrogen, full of just femininity, like the modern man, the government can just do what they want, and no one's going to say anything back to them because we're just too feminine to disagree with them, to counter what they're saying. So then, therefore, they can say what they want, and we're just going to obey and do it. We're going to stay in the 9 to 5. They're going to take our money and spend it on whatever. This is why they're trying to cancel and just get rid of Andrew and Tristan Tate, people like that. They give them false whatever, accuse them of false thing, because they are trying to help young men become more masculine, fill them with testosterone so that we can work hard and provide for the people around us. The government do not care about us. They want us as poor as possible, as they just want to keep us slaves to them, pretty much, so that they get more money, they get more power, and we become weaker and weaker and more depressed. So to counteract this, we need to stop doing what they say and start boosting our testosterone so that we can say no to them, say no to people, become stronger, make our own money, start our own business, go to the gym, and just be better people, pretty much, better young men. And this is just going to benefit all of society. It will not benefit the government, but they are evil, so we don't want that. It's going to benefit the people around you. It's going to benefit the women, the children, everyone. So how do you increase testosterone? You do it naturally. You don't put TRT. I've put hours of research into this. I know how to do it naturally, so you don't need to pump yourself full of steroids or anything like that. The first thing you can do is sleep more. It sounds simple, but it's what works, because the more sleep you get, the more testosterone is produced, because sleep is where testosterone is made mostly. So you need at least 8 hours of good quality sleep per night. So cut off all electronics, all devices before bed. It sounds boring and too simple, but it does work. The second thing is you can swap out the shitty diets that you've been eating all your life, the fish fingers, the chicken nuggets, the microwavable food, and swap it out for good quality food and fats like eggs, steak, and butter. The foods that you've been eating, they've been labelled as low calorie, low fat, all of this shit by the government, because the food in there is full of so many bad chemicals that are going to mess up your hormones, mess up your testosterone, therefore making you more feminine. Once you understand this, it just becomes so much clearer that they are just trying to keep us weak and lazy and fat. So stop eating them factory-made foods and eat the natural foods, because the government cannot make eggs and steak and butter. They can't pump them full of chemicals to make us weak. Ideally, you want organic, free range, all that, but if you can't afford that, just swap out the bad for the cheapest version of red meat and eggs and butter you can have. The government can't do anything with that. That's why they say red meat causes cancer. And people have eaten red meat for thousands of years. It's never caused cancer. It's actually why everyone else was so strong, fit and healthy compared to us. They ate red meat, they ate eggs. Again, the cholesterol in eggs, the cholesterol in red meat and steak does not cause heart disease or anything like that. It's just another thing they are trying to trick us. So the foods pretty much they say to avoid, like eggs, like red meat, don't avoid it, because they're just trying to lie. If your ancestors ate it 100 years ago, then eat it, it's fine, because the heart disease was so much lower back then. Things like depression and anxiety did not exist back then. But now it exists because the government giving us shitty foods like this. So yeah, don't do it. Another way they're trying to keep us feminine. Eat at least 5 eggs a day. Try and have steak every day. If you can't afford it, have another red meat, have bacon or mince. Fatty, because the fat is good for you. Your body needs it to keep you full of testosterone and make you feel like a man. The third thing you can do is something more psychological for your testosterone. What you want to do is be in more competitive situations. Be in competition with other men, whether it's in a boxing gym, a spa, or even just a chess match. This is because when you're in competition with another man, your brain responds to this and it understands that your status is on the line, your ego's on the line, respect from other people is on the line. Because if you lose the boxing fight, for example, then respect from others goes down. But if you win that boxing fight, then people respect you more, they like you more because you've won. You seem more dominant and you seem more like the leader. And this is because back in the tribal days, when someone would fight, your status is on the line, because if you lose, you die. If you win the fight, then you get all the women, you get all the resources, you get all the respect. And our mind still perceives situations like a boxing fight or even just a chess match in the same way. So be more competition, and more specifically, you have to win it. So if you lose, your testosterone won't go up, most likely. If you win, though, it's going to skyrocket. So if you lose, it's fine. Just improve at that thing so the next time you do it, you don't lose. So those 3 things: sleep more, swap your diet, and competition are going to boost your testosterone. It's going to prevent the government from making you weak, from making you brainwash their lies, and it's going to make you happier and the people around you happier, having more testosterone. If you want to know more about testosterone, I've made a course. It's top link in the description if you're interested. I've spent hours of research on it, so it definitely works, and it will never be this cheap. So if you're interested in that, improving your health, testosterone, that's fine. If you don't want to, then just do what I've said in this video and just don't believe what the government tells you. The complete liars. And yeah,